All right. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. I don't know why I'm talking so softly. Probably because I'm inside the house. Yeah, pretty sure. So, I just feel weird live streaming in the house. I don't want to wake people up. All right. Today's reading, a line is about to be crossed. Okay. Shiva, stop it. Sorry. A line is about to be crossed. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel demonic like it did yesterday. But a line is about to be crossed. So let's go ahead. All right. Oh, Shiva pierced. Shlabba-da-bubba-da-buzz. Could you please stop already? It is super early. It is. You definitely can go back to sleep. It's okay. Close your eyes. So we don't do bedtime for my kids, but they know if you're gonna stay up and we have to do something the next day, you gotta suck it up. You gotta learn some autonomous independence. So one of my kids, he is like going all night long. I have to go somewhere the next day, and I'm like, you can sleep in the car. It's okay. You can finish sleeping in the car. All right. All right. Hey, Aaron. Something's about to pop off for you. Be extra vigilant. Extra vigilant. Something's watching you. I'm sorry. I just blurted that out. Damn. Sorry. That was for Aaron. I don't remember details of what I've said before, but whatever negative parts, like negative, it's about to start. All right, 2 more decks and we're ready. I don't know what those cards are. All right. We got a Miley Cyrus card. Riding on a dandelion wrecking ball. Okay. All right. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Osset. Almost ready, guys. Almost ready. That card keeps coming up. Someone's just jonesing for you. Okay. That card comes up so regularly. Someone's jonesing for you. So here we go. Card number 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So some shadowy aspect has really been keeping you from rising up, really been keeping you from moving forward. This shadow aspect may be something within yourself. It might be your refusal to really submit to your own path. That would definitely keep you all, confined within yourself. So you have to first identify, what is the source of this shadow? What is this darkness that is that has its grip on you, okay? For some, actually for most, this does not feel like it's something outside of yourself. This does not feel parasitic. It feels like this is more rooted in your lack of belief in yourself. So it would be a very internal thing that I'm picking up on, okay? For others, I mean, let's face it, Pisceans tend to be a favorite for stalkers. For some of us, it would be that. It would be someone really just inappropriate in their fixation on you. For one reason or another, they're just super hyper fixated on you, okay? So, okay, that's a secondary message to this. Hold on. I just didn't feel right behind my head. So typically I make the analogy of cords being like tree trunks. If you cut it by the trunk, the tree will still continue to grow. So I feel like this is someone you tried to cut cords with in the past. It could be earlier in this life. It could be something in a past life. So you've tried to cut cords with them, and I think you're kind of just stuck inside that cord, okay? It's going to start to regrow. I think that's what's going on. It's starting to regrow, and it's just something that is, you can't allow that. You cannot allow that. So there's a very, very common misperception where, y'all, Michael doesn't cut cords. I don't know Michael who. I don't know which Michael. There's lots of Michaels in the world. I don't know which one you guys are going to cut your cords. He does not cut cords. He's the very reason I understand and make the analogy that cords are like trees. They will regrow. You have to remove it a specific type of way. So, just kind of think on that. Which of you have attempted to cut some cord with a person? And that's the line that's about to be crossed. It's about to regrow, okay? It's about to regrow. What is wrong with you? Just go down. They're focused on you, okay? Card number 4, focus. While you're focused on something else, they're focused on you. So this might have to do with a Sagittarius, or you might be pulling in Sagittarian energy. I just totally forgot. I'm doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for people who really resonate with a reading but have no Pisces in their chart or dealing with a Pisces. So suddenly Sagittarius energy is coming forward. Hold on. Sagittarian, you're optimistic, lovers of freedom, hilarious. Fair-minded, honest, and intellectual. They're spontaneous and fun, usually with a lot of friends, and are perhaps the best conversationalists in the zodiac, maybe tied with Gemini. I like Gemini. Okay, so Sagittarius energy. I'm wondering if you're needing to pull in Sagittarius energy as you focus on what you want to do. I'm wondering if Pisceans need to become a little more spontaneous and fun, where you have the ability to recognize you can free yourself. Fair-minded, I think you need to become more fair-minded with yourself. I'm wondering if Pisceans are becoming pessimistic because we're so sensitive to what's going on in the world. We're so sensitive to what's going on with people around us. You're about to miss the mark. I am not too sure. Dealing with a Sagittarius? I don't know. I don't know. It's like there's a message that just keeps being dangled in front of me, and as I try and retrieve it, it gets pulled away. Ties into this. So here's the thing. For many of us, it's very hard to breach our shield because we're just so super distrusting. Okay, Pisces, we have trust issues. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You don't need to spend your life trying to force yourself to trust everybody, because let's be honest, not everybody deserves your trust. Okay, so I'm wondering if what's going on, this like dangling information in front of me, pulling it away before I can retrieve it, has a lot to do with this like shadow aspect, something really trying to distract me, trying to guide this reading into a place where it's not supposed to go. One of the few ways that you can bypass my mistrust of people, one of the few ways is by dangling information in front of me. I'm not talking about information about someone else. I'm talking about esoterica. Like, the more complex this esoterica is, the more I'm like, oh, 90% at 7:09. But I'm learning this is the way that parasitic things really, really try and breach my space, by trying to initiate philosophical type discussions, giving me information that is just super duper fascinating. So I'm wondering if now that's what's being attempted, trying to give you information to distract you, to get you focused on this, when in reality, something's coming from the other way. Okay, so be careful. Be very, very careful. Card number 5, comparison. It feels like you're comparing yourself to someone else. I don't know if maybe I hear arch nemesis. I wonder if this is someone who you felt you lost to. I'm wondering if maybe like your connection with someone ended and they moved forward with another person, and you keep comparing yourself to them. You know, like these small comparisons of like, oh, she's like gorgeous oak tree, and I'm over here just a silly ass bamboo. Okay, they don't sell oak trees in all the Asian stores. Okay. It's okay if you're bamboo. Actually, oak is much easier to break. Okay, oak is a hard wood, but when something is hard, you can break it, you can snap it. Bamboo, on the other hand, is flexibly strong. Okay, have you not seen Jackie Chan movies? I'm just saying. What was that movie, Daddy? Rush Hour. Remember when he was like fighting with someone on that structure beside the building? Am I the only one that remembers that? He was fighting with someone on this structure beside the building. Thank you, Oracle. And it was bamboo. Yes, bamboo is mutable. Another thing, bamboo carries with it some seriously important energies, because a lot of ancient, especially Asian cultures, they use bamboo, not just the bamboo stick, but like the bamboo material for weapon practice. They fashion it into swords and things like that to practice their skills. So it carries with it a very protective, very, very ancient warrior type energy. So that's what you are. You're an ancient warrior. Okay. You're a very ancient warrior. Don't allow yourself to get discouraged by other people's bullshit. You're welcome. Card number 17, commune with source. You're needing to return back to your original form. Okay. Whoever you were before all of this BS started, you need to go back to being that person. If someone hurts you, it's not some sort of win for you to become hardened, for you to, like the response is like, I'm never going to trust anyone again. I mean, I don't trust people, period. And I don't think anyone should have that type of influence and control that they can dictate the way it affects my character, the way it shapes me. I dictate that. No one else. No one else. Okay. There have been times where I have been, I've had my feelings hurt, and instead of like becoming really, really bitter about it and just kind of, for lack of a better word, being ugly. My mom used to say that if I wasn't smiling, I was ugly. If I get really angry or I cry, she goes, that's ugly. You're going to stay ugly. She would tell me I would stay ugly. So, yeah, I think that's probably the best advice I ever got as a kid. Don't be ugly about it. So instead of getting ugly about it, I'm like, you're not going to stop me from helping people. You're not going to stop me from giving to those who need. No. I let my defiance serve me. And it serves me by helping me to be more of who I actually am. So anytime people challenge me, challenge my belief in what I'm doing, the work that I do, they challenge my understanding of what my, destiny is, that's the more I further submit to that destiny. I was going to stop live streaming maybe, I think like 2 years ago, until some bitches tried me. Yeah. They tried to start all kind of shit to force me to stop live streaming. And what happened? I came here on YouTube instead. I was supposed to get off Facebook anyways. I just didn't want to. So, 10 of Summer. An emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, people you can trust. Oh, we were just talking about this. Family. It could be soul family. It could be biological family, just family. It's time for you to allow yourself to embrace this. I think a lot of Pisceans, for one reason or another, this is kind of what I notice. A lot of Pisceans have this very deeply rooted, very hidden sense of family has betrayed me. I don't know whether they actually have, but that's what I see as part of like the root hurt for a lot of Pisceans. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we feel so deeply, and when we're, you don't really consciously choose your family, you do it on a soul level. And so your conscious human mind oftentimes gets butthurt because the family you're around is not as sensitive as you. So a lot of Pisceans are told, oh, you're too sensitive by their family. It's not necessarily a malicious thing, they're not trying to break you, but that type of environment, it has a tendency to affect you so deeply. And because it's so normalized, that's all you know, you just learn to shut them out. Yeah. Maybe it's time to really address that wound. I used to think that, but then after a certain period, I realized like there's no way for my family to know that this is how it affects me. There's really no way for them to understand the gravity of what like small words would do. And then at the same time, I recognized if I didn't have the family that I have, I wouldn't be as strong as I am. Because my mama used to tell me, "You're gonna be ugly if you cry." She used to say crazy shit to me. And it really, some people be like, "Oh my God, that's so mean." I'm like, no, she helped to balance me. Could you imagine if I was so full of my own shit? Like, I'm cute. Oh no, no. No, that would really, really interfere with my ability to fulfill my purpose. If I was so concerned with the aesthetics of me, having the kind of childhood I had, the last thing I'm concerned about is aesthetics. Aesthetics. Card number 50, the moon. So these are the things that are hidden. Okay. These are things that are hidden within you, the things that will lead to change and take you back to your point of origination. So card number 50, 5 is the number of change. 0 is your point of origination. You're needing to go back to square one. Who were you in that first square? Who were you contained within a box? Before the box was gilded, before the box was added onto, who were you? Whoever that is needs to be released from the box. And what is a box? What is a square? 4 lines that connect at their tips. A line is about to be crossed. I'm wondering if the message here is that you need to finally step out of your box. You need to allow yourself to release yourself from this self-imposed prison. One of the most powerful things Michael has ever told me, I may be confined in a box. I may think that. But I am the box. I am the lock. And I am my own key. The only reason I continued to exist within a box was because I kept locking myself back up in there. So what do you want now? Do you want to stay in the box? Which is fine. You can stay in there as long as you want. But at some point, your soul is going to disagree. It's going to lose its patience with you, and it's going to grab you by your hair and drag your ass out of your box. You're going to feel very exposed. You're going to feel very jilted by life. If you choose to exit the box, that's a much more positive type of experience. Could you imagine the difference? Take a moment to imagine this, okay? The difference between moving out and being evicted. Just really let yourself wrap your mind around that. The difference between moving out and being evicted. When you move out on your own terms, you have this excitement, like, ooh, new adventure in life. When you're evicted, I've never been evicted, but I'm assuming the feeling would be like, oh my God, what is going to happen next? Like this fear, this sense of defeat, this sense of failure, all these, it's like that feeling, I'm not saying you're defeated or you failed. I'm saying that feeling would be so strong, so potent. So move out instead of being evicted. Live life on your own terms. Ooh, that's potent. That's potent. I just was reminded of my aunt, who was basically like a second mom to me. She's my mom's sister. And she passed this past January. And she was experiencing end-stage heart failure. And she was hooked up to so many different IVs. And, these were the things that were basically keeping her alive. She was so conscious. And she decided at the time, what am I holding on to? She spoke to the people she needed to speak to. She saw the people she needed to see. And then she decided, I'm done. And she left on her own terms. They took her off the medications and she let nature take its course. And at her funeral, she planned her own funeral. She planned it. She's a badass like that. She wasn't scared. She made all these plans. She gave it to the people who could carry it out when she was gone. And she had us play I Did It My Way. It removed the fear. It really removed the fear and the sense of helplessness. As a nurse, which she was a nurse, she knew that this was not something she could bounce back from. She already knew it was like the very, very end, not just like a new diagnosis of end stage. It had prolonged, the experience went for many years of struggle and suffering. And at the end, she just, you know what? I'm not coming back from this. I'm not leaving the hospital. I'm not getting healed. I'm going to leave on my own terms. And I think that took away a lot of her fear. I think that being able to decide for yourself that I'm not going to be so afraid and cling to this, something that's already falling through my fingertips, in between my fingers. When you allow yourself to have that kind of bravery, and bravery is not necessarily absence of fear. It's your decision to continue forward, even with that fear present. Joy! 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 You have, Shiva! You have oatmeal in the thing. Sorry. You have oatmeal in the microwave. I'm so sorry, you guys. Shiva, you are developing some bad habits, lady. I know, because joy. Because of joy. It's just like card number 27. Receiving. Allow yourself to receive the messages of life. Allow yourself to receive whatever guidance you're being given, okay? Denying the message doesn't, 77% at 725. 7, 7, 7, 2 plus 5 is 7. Nice. Nice. Allow yourself to receive whatever messages you need to receive, whatever guidance, whatever it is. Allow yourself to receive it, because just because you are able to successfully ignore what the message is doesn't mean you've avoided whatever event or circumstance that message is telling you about. Because people think that, like, oh, if I don't look, then it didn't happen. Okay. Okay. Bless that little chihuahua. Yo. She's become a little shithead since we arrived. I don't know why. Card number 9, potential. Just because you refuse to accept, embrace, acknowledge your potential doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Your potential is there. It's been there since before your birth. It was already programmed and basically like delivered to you before you were even born. And you spend the rest of your life, the entirety of your life, trying to open up that potential. Okay, that's the whole point of you going through all the things that you go through, to gain a deeper understanding, to dive deeper into that potential. But most of us will not do that. Most of us will ignore, excuse away, all of that. We just don't want to tap into that potential, because there's this fear that what if there's something bad in that potential? Well, where did you get the concept of there might be something bad? Where did you learn that? You know, was that something that you learned from religious indoctrination, Was that something that you learned from recordings from childhood? Was that something that you believe because of this overpowering sense of powerlessness? Just because the human mind can't comprehend or accept spiritual truths does not negate the spiritual truth. Oh, someone quote that and send it to me. Just because the human mind cannot comprehend or embrace, accept spiritual truth, it doesn't negate the validity of it. It doesn't. The human consciousness can never override spiritual truth. See, that's the thing, staying in our comfort or our knowing, that has a tendency to cause complacency. It has a tendency to cause people to refuse to move forward because I'm comfortable. So what I see happen all the time, and I'm seeing this from a spiritual perspective, you are at your job, there's really nowhere else to go within that company because you've kind of reached the ceiling for what you can do and your credentials. You've reached the ceiling, but you stay because it's comfortable, because you know what it is. You know your job, you do it good, you don't feel fulfilled. It's a paycheck. And then what happens? Spirit, soul encourages you to move forward, to go to a different place within yourself, within your career, sometimes to change careers. And you continue to deny that request, and what happens? I see this time and time and time again. What happens? You lose your job because you were never meant to stay there. And it goes back to what I was saying. What would you prefer, to move out on your own terms or to be evicted? What's your preference? Because if no matter what, you can no longer occupy that place, what would you prefer? To move out or to be evicted? Okay, so card number 5, cultivate love. Cultivate is the operative term. Cultivate. This is something you have to put work into. You have to cultivate this environment within your consciousness and allow it to be projected outside of you. So, question. Why do we have such a hard time projecting our truth, but have such an easy time projecting distortions? Me, for example, I'm a good person. I have good intentions. I have elevated ability. That's so hard for me to verbalize. That's so hard for me to just allow it to come outside of me. Okay? Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid. But it's so easy for me to verbalize, oh, I'm in a bad mood. Oh, I have a bad attitude today. Oh. All these negative aspects of who I am. These characteristics that are so easy for other people to see as a flaw. That just comes out real easy. Real easy. But the beauty of the truth, we try and keep it hidden away. We just wait I don't want people to think that I'm full of myself. I don't want people to know that I know I'm amazing, that I'm a good person, that I'm a good friend. I mean, heaven forbid, I can't say those types of things. I can't say that. Oh my God, that's so, how could you say that? But we can very easily, oh, I'm such a bitch. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So awareness. Ooh, that's a picture. Oh. I wonder if many of us have this bodhisattva inside us. This being of elevated intelligence, elevated compassion. This internal peace that's just burning through the illusion of distortions. the illusion that these distortions create. Oh, that's powerful. Maybe I was a Buddha in a past life because I got like all these. Look at her. Why do Buddhas always have like multiple necks? Multiple chins. Okay, stop. Focus, girls. Quit fucking around. One of my friends once said, oh my God, Ems, you're a bodhisattva. It's like, is it because of my neck? Okay. 9 of Summer, wishes come true, dreams fulfilled, the magical time of life. Like there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful stuff that's about to happen for you if you would just get out of your own way. Okay? You have to get out of your own way. It's easy. You just take one step to the left or the right and turn to your side. You don't even have to get out of the lane. I once had a friend, Charmaine Illenberger. She runs Holding Space. Phenomenal. She's a very good friend of mine, and she did a QHHT session on me. That's where you are able to kind of allow your higher self to speak and retrieve some information. And I've always been very, very, I guess you could say, afraid of uncovering things from past lives, and feels unsafe, like just intrinsically unsafe. And I told her, I have trust issues. I don't know if my higher self will even talk to you. And one of the most powerful things she said before the session started, she was, it's okay. You don't even need to stand out of the doorway. Just scooch your hip a little bit to the side, and that information will flow through, even through the cracks. It'll flow through. And that's what I did. No, that's not what I did. My consciousness, my mind started to fight the process. And what ended up happening, my higher self showed me this, like, it looked kind of like a rattle. Like, I don't know, Durgas? No. Whatever the hell it's called in Tibetan culture, it looks like a royal rattle. That's what my higher self showed me, had it in a box. And it was like, it was doing all this beautiful sound. And I was like, oh, what is that? And then she grabbed my ass, shoved me in the box and locked it. And it wasn't my higher self that was fighting the process. It was me. So with my conscious mind locked in a box temporarily, she was able to hold such a beautiful, compassionate space for my higher self to really share information, like really share a ton of information, share why I don't speak to my own spiritual team, because I don't. The only one I talk to is Michael. Everyone else just shh. I need 2 more lifetimes to process what happened. So this card keeps popping up. Card number 24, Lust. I don't know. It could be like unrecognized power within you trying to rise up. And because of that, because of your feeling of that happening without really being able to rationalize that's what it is, it could cause you to feel very helpless, very weak. A lot of Pisceans feel very helpless and very weak. Feel, not actually are. There's a huge difference, okay? So a lot of us feel this way. And sometimes that feeling of weakness and feeling of like deprived of this or that, it can cause you to overreact. I'm sorry, I know we don't like that word, but it's the right word to use. When we overreact, we have a tendency to overcompensate, overdo. And what ends up happening? We end up becoming a product of our distorted views. This is the unbalanced Piscean. This is the Piscean that so many people are like, oh my God, you are so toxic. You are fucking crazy. That's what it is. That's where it stems from. So when you can recognize your own power and allow your knowing of yourself, your worth, your intrinsic worth, this is not something you have to earn. This is something you already have. This is you underneath all the layers of bullshit that you've been subscribing to. Okay? A lot of the things you see about yourself, the way you see those things, it's filtered through someone else's bullshit lens. Let that sink in. All right. Oh, look at you. Shiva, stop it. Stop it. No. No. Don't do it. Okay. Don't do it. Okay. No, girl. So, card number 13, free yourself. You're being attacked by your own sense of piety and purity and integrity. Really let that sink in. Your unrealistic, unfair expectation of yourself is the very thing that's attacking you. This is what causes you to become hypersensitive to other people's, what do you call it? I went blank. Oh my God, I went totally blank. This is what causes you to become hypersensitive to other people's condemnations of you. Yeah. Just because someone says something does not mean you take it in as your truth. But it becomes your truth when your expectation of yourself is as unfair and unrealistic as a person condemning you. Hey, people can say whatever they want about me, but unless I give my energy to it, it's bullshit. Unless I give my energy to it, it's bullshit. I choose where my energy goes. And if I don't allow my energy to go to you by giving you attention, then it's not going to you. I decide where it goes. This is my energy. This is not our energy. This is mine. So with the way creation is structured, we all do come from the same thing, same place, same point of origination. We all do get that same energy. But just like with families, the siblings, if they share the same parents, they come from the same point of origination. But their energy is unique to them. Their energy is what dictates their personality, the way they express certain types of genetic coding, all of that. So you have the family energy and then the energy of the individual within that family. And that's how creation is structured. My energy as an individual within our family of souls is mine. I'm not obligated to give it to anyone else, share it with anyone else. It is mine. Emmie, how do you do the work that you do? How come you don't get so tired? Because I don't use my energy. That's just for me. Just for me. It's not selfish. It's not being a bitch. It's not, you being power hungry. It's about understanding the truth of the structures and understanding I can be depleted. Divinity cannot. I'm not going to use my energy that was gifted to me for me. It's strictly for me. Now there's another energy that I tap into. That one's for all of us. That one can't be depleted. I can keep going for hours with that one. Keep going for hours. That one's to be shared. So start to understand your energy as your own individual divinity versus divinity, period. Okay? Don't allow your misunderstanding of it to cause you to attack yourself. Don't go there with it. Don't go there with it. So card number 18, healing. It's time for you to allow yourself to heal. Notice how she's surrounded by heart and solar plexus energy, that green and areas of yellowish. And then here's the orangey colors. A lot of Pisceans carry within them, holding it in their sacral chakra, all the wounds of the family, all the wounds of your environment, all the wounds of everyone you come across your entire life. As Pisceans, we have a tendency to have complete strangers just kind of come up to us, tell us all their problems, all the things that they couldn't ever tell anyone else, not even their closest friends, dump that off. It's not their intention to dump it off. Let's clarify that. But you create such a safe, energetic space that they go ahead and leave that with you, and then you end up carrying it for the rest of your life. Why is that? Shiva, stop it! Sorry. Girl. This girl. Okay. Sorry. You end up carrying it with you. Unless you realize that as an empath, you're pulling in other people's pain and taking ownership of it, you have a tendency to do it. So it's not that you have to stop listening to other people releasing their problems, venting. It's that you have to stop taking ownership of their problems. It's okay to listen. It's not okay to own it, because that's not yours. All right, card number 18. Oh, 18 and 18. See, 18 and 18, spirals of manifestation. If you can focus on your healing, you will manifest that. But if you're mistaking your healing for solving other people's problems, then you're not going to heal. You're going to continue to take ownership of other people's problems, and that's not going to help you. Card number 4, turning in. You have to turn into the highest expression of yourself. Oh, that's ugly. I think this is a Piscean card. Look at that. Look at all the faces, all the people who have something to say, and you have to sit in stillness within your own waters. You have to sit in the stillness of your own waters, because if you don't, all of these, look at this, all of these other people who have so much to say, because, you know, I think of all the signs, people have the most to say about Pisces. They have the most to say about Pisces. You want to hear my advice on that? I'm not going to be mean today. So, Prince of Summer, romantic, captivating, dramatic, and flirtatious. Falling in love suddenly, being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Someone's coming in on a dandelion wrecking ball. I think another line is about to be crossed. Okay, I think another line is definitely on the verge of being crossed. Oh, you guys want to know? Sarah French got it. To the people who have so much to say about Pisces, fuck them. If you can't dive as deep as a Piscean without the need for coming back up for air, I can't even hear you. I can't even hear you, you know? And people might be like, oh my God, she's full of ego. My ego functions beautifully. It functions beautifully. It doesn't need to be put away. It doesn't need to be killed. It doesn't need to be muted. None of that. It functions beautifully. And right now, my ego is flaring up, and it's telling me, okay, tone it down, girl. Tone it down. Don't get too flamboyant in that, like, I'm amazing. My ego functions perfectly. Okay? So, card number 23, listening. Listen closely. Just like really allow yourself to hear what your higher self, what your soul is trying to express to you. This was never meant to be some sort of competition, comparison, any of that. That's what ends up hurting your feelings. When you compete with other people, there will always be someone who is smarter, faster, skinnier, taller, smaller feet, more attractive, more, I don't know, more, okay? More. There will always be someone who's like that, and that's okay. That's okay. Don't compare. You're your own person. You're here on your own journey. Yes, what other people think of me is not my business. I completely agree with that. Okay. I'm sorry, Michael. I was just ignoring all of the cards that were flipping over. Okay. Yeah, even competing with yourself, no one wins. That's, I know you were kind of joking, but it's the truth. Don't even compete with yourself. And if you're going to compare yourself with yourself, it's really, it would benefit you to only do that when you're needing a reminder of how far you've come. Only compare yourself with yourself when you need a reminder of how far you've come. Okay? It's so easy to forget the amount of growth we've experienced. So easy. Oh, I didn't. Okay. I'll pull from it. That's one hell of a way to end that. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Before you start anything, allow yourself to laugh at how far you've gotten into your own distorted beliefs about yourself. Just laugh about it for a second. Just really let yourself laugh about how silly you have allowed yourself to get at times when it comes to attacking yourself, when it comes to criticizing, condemning yourself. I mean, that's just silliness. That's just silliness. You're an amazing, amazing expression of divinity. Okay? You're an amazing expression of divinity. There's nothing wrong with knowing this, acknowledging this, verbalizing this. Just like people have no problem with you tearing yourself apart. If they have a problem with you expressing your divinity, that should tell you something. That should totally tell you something. If they have no problem witnessing your downfall, but have a problem witnessing you rise, there's a problem. There's a problem. And their problem should be their own, silently, far away from you, because fuck people who can't celebrate you and they can celebrate your demise. They don't need to be around. They can love and light somewhere else. Okay, card number 19, shift your energy. Okay, shift your energy, allow it to go to the places where you have allowed yourself to become depleted. And why have you allowed yourself to become depleted? Because of obligation. You feel obligated to do this, you feel obligated to do that. Are you really obligated, or are you volunteering yourself for this depletion? Is it you doing it, or is it someone else? Are you being forced into it? I'm going to tell you a truth, Pisces. No one can force you to do anything. You have to agree to it. No one can force you to do anything. You have to agree to it. There is a huge difference between you volunteering and this belief that someone else forced you. Well, I had to work the other hours because they forced me to. No, they didn't. You agreed. Oftentimes, Pisceans, we are guilty of volunteering ourselves before we give ourselves an opportunity to process what the hell we're volunteering for. Okay. Card number 39, clear endeavor. Even if you exist still within a winter, emotional winter within yourself, there's still things to smile about. There's still beautiful things around you. Ooh, another thing about winter. I don't know how many of you have experienced the moments after a snowstorm finishes, like when there's a thick blanket of snow outside, even in the trees, there's just this gorgeous silence. It's like this stillness. It's almost like the world has just been paused, just paused. Many of us don't experience that. Many of us never get to experience the beauty of that stillness within ourselves. So if you're struggling, if you're feeling very cold towards yourself, maybe you need to pause. Maybe it's time for you to really just be present during your emotional winter, and that silence, that insulated stillness could probably give you some clarity. They really, really can. Some of the times that gift me with the most deepest inner under and overstanding of myself and my soul are when I have an emotional winter. Whether that winter is induced by me or someone outside of me, I'm going to reap the benefits of it. Absolutely. I'm going to utilize every aspect of my life and all my experiences to benefit me. And society would tell you that, oh, that's bad. That's so bad. Oh my gosh. You benefiting from a situation? Like, you're a bad person. How many of you have heard this? People who benefit from things are bad. Why is that? We don't even know. It's just because we're told it's bad. Do you believe everything you're told without questioning? This is one of the reasons why I left religion. You're not allowed to question. I mean, coming from a religion that's worshiping a man who questioned the people of his time, I kind of feel like that's a bullshit expectation. So question it. Why this? Why that? Question it. I mean, you don't even have to say it out loud. Question it within yourself. Like, why am I not allowed to ask questions again? What? Okay, stop. I was getting out of control. Okay. All right. We have the Hierophant. The official situation is a grim one. I don't know why I say that. The official situation is one where authority and positions of power have been used to really, really defile your sense of self. That will continue so long as you allow it. So long as you don't actively choose to change that, to shift that. We're not asking or expecting you to be a different person. Who is the we? So that's a message from our higher selves as a collective body, the higher selves of all human beings. We are not asking you to be someone else. We are requesting and encouraging you to release the distorted filters that you use to view yourself. I mean, I don't feel like that's unreasonable. That's definitely still within reason. Asking you to allow miniature shift after miniature shift after miniature shift. Even with diets, even with health programs, all the professionals say that if you make like a tremendous change, the likelihood of you maintaining that long term is slim to none. The more drastic the change, the less likely it will stick. So you're not being asked to become this person that you believe with your still limited view of life. You believe that that's who you should be. Who I believed I should be 5 years ago, the way I believe spirituality and divinity are to be expressed 5 years ago, is so far removed from what I understand at this point. It's so far removed. It's the equivalent of you holding yourself to this belief from kindergarten that you should be a fireman. A fireman. That just sounds weird. And now as a grown adult, you're not a fireman. You're something else, something that you feel you are, because you've had enough experiences that rubbed you raw and removed layer after layer after layer of distortion, distorted beliefs about yourself. So you have to allow yourself to actually live and be present, even in the situations that rub you raw, rub you wrong. Whenever I feel like, damn, someone just rubbed me the wrong way, that gets me to pause. Like, what area of me was so overgrown that it needed to be rubbed off? Okay. It's no longer about the person. Now it's about me. Okay. Oh, yeah. I didn't want to address that. I didn't want to address that yet. Okay. I'll address it now. So that's how it goes. Let's see. So we have Two of Pentacles in reverse. Literary ability, agility in handling matters, simulated enjoyment, forced gaiety, letter, message. This is a message from your soul to stop faking your happiness. Ooh, that came out with venom. I don't know why that came out so intense. Like, do you mean me? Are you saying I'm faking being happy? Sometimes I laugh and smile just because I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that was more towards me. Damn, bitch, calm down. All right, hold on. Two of Cups in reverse. Unsatisfactory love, false friendship, troubled relationship, divorce, separation, cross desires, misunderstanding. Ooh. So here it is. Here it is. So there are people, person or peoples that have crossed their desires. Okay, there's been major misunderstandings. It's caused separation. It's caused almost like a mental divorce. I don't believe this has to do with actual marriage for most of us. I believe this has to do with the energetic union. Oh, shit. Okay. So then this goes back to, again, every reading. God damn. I thought we were going to get away with this reading without mentioning the TF topic. So there was a divorce that occurred, energetic divorce. Okay, I'm not sure why suicide is being mentioned in the comments. I need to state right now, I am not licensed or trained or any of that to address suicide. That is a very, very serious thing. You need to seek professional advice and assistance. Live streams are not the place to try and get assistance for that. I am not licensed or trained. That is not something I can assist with. I do not want to say the wrong thing and further trigger whoever is struggling through that. I have to just cut and dry with it. You know, anytime that's mentioned and I see it in the comments, I will say this same thing. There is a suicide prevention hotline for whoever is struggling through those thoughts and feelings, okay? So we have the Star. Brightness, hope could bring excesses, so be careful not to become too greedy. So I'm assuming like excess, the whole topic of excess became too much. It became what caused that energetic or spiritual divorce between the TF, okay? So. Chubbies, stop it. Be a good girl. So King of Cups, responsibility and creativity, learned person, religious person, scientist, a considerate person, kind and reliable, liberal manner, interest in the arts and sciences. Do you need to let her out? Okay, I'll open the door for you. Hold on, guys. Chubbies, come on. Come on. Go, girl, go. Go, girl, go. Go, girl. No, oh, God. Fine, great girl. Good girl. Good girl. She's a good girl. Go. She's like, yes, yes. No, not to me, go outside. So King of Cups. Man over 25 years, blue eyes, fair or brown hair, gentle, emotional, and shy. I'm wondering, aside from the obvious literal interpretation, I'm wondering if maybe, is that a fishy on is his pendant a fish or is that a spade? I'm wondering if this is a message for us that the masculine aspect of ourselves is gentle, emotional, and shy. This expression of masculinity in many cultures and society at large is one of aggression, rage, uncontrolled, unrecognized anger, expressing itself through fists, harsh words, subjugation, domination, all of these, that's all very toxic masculinity. It's very, very toxic, okay? And a truly powerful man is balanced. He has all of that, but he also has the softness within. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to be capable of that, but choose not to live that way. Is huge. That is a masculine stepping into their power, stepping into their role as nurturer, provider of safe feelings. You know, I don't believe a man should always just pay for everything. So a lot of us, whether we are woman or man or whatever other genders, I don't even know, LGBTQs, fuck, I don't know, you guys, I don't know. Whatever gender you are, you have both masculine and feminine energy within you. Both masculine and feminine energy. And when we allow our masculine side to take on more of a protector role for ourselves, we then release this fear of speaking up, standing up, speaking out, walking away from things that are toxic. So 8 of Cups, money problems, turning your back and walking away, knowing nothing more can be done. So money is currency, currency is electric, electric is energy. So energetic problems, turning your back and walking away, knowing nothing more can be done. Maybe this has to do, Michael says, say it. Men are the first to fall with no safety net. It's true. Men are not allowed to openly discuss their feelings, show emotion, allow people to know they're struggling, ask for help. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It really is. A lot of, I'm saying this as someone who owns a vagina, a lot of feminists now actually exhibit toxic femininity, attacking men, causing men to believe they're the problem. The problem is the system that we exist within. It's not one of the genders, because that gender still exists having to operate under the same rules that you do. There are toxic men just as well as there are toxic females. Toxicity exists on both sides. The problem isn't a gender. The problem is the system we keep giving our power and energy to. It's a system. It's not a gender. It's that toxic patriarchal system that we live within for so many generations now. That's the problem. It's the system. So 9 of Cups. Improvements underway, feeling smug or pleased. There we go. It's okay. It's okay to feel pleased that you're making progress. I don't know about feeling smug. I work every day to let my son know it's okay to have feelings. His father doesn't agree with me. The beautiful thing about having such polarized parents is the child is able to see the truth of both sides. And I don't necessarily think that you have to like verbalize to your child, like, no, daddy's wrong. You can express your feelings. But it's okay for you, for my personal belief, to be like, I kind of feel like it's okay. I kind of feel like if you want to talk about something, you can tell me. It's okay for you to tell me. Children need that. They really, really need that. So You okay? Chubbies? Yeah. She's eating shit again. Girl. All right. So 10 of Swords, death or ending of situation or relationship. Could this be the death or ending of your relationship with your toxic parts? Could it? Could it? That's mean to say to me. Okay. Michael says, this could be the death or ending of my relationship with this view of twin toxicity. Ooh, that's deep. All right. Hold on. Addiction comes in many forms. It's not just to substances. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Addiction comes in many forms. People oftentimes will really, really just treat others who have that label of addict so badly. And it's like, you look at your phone all day, you're an addict. You keep involving yourself in drama, you're an addict. You're addicted to drama. You're addicted to electronics. There's so many different types of addiction, and people just shit on others who have an addiction that is one that carries a stigma. Let's face it, all of us are addicted to something. And newsflash, those of us who keep like, when is my twin coming back? You're addicted. That's addiction. That's addiction. It's an addiction. So let's see. I don't know where that came from. I really don't know where that came from. Okay, we're almost done, guys. I don't know why I pulled out more cards. All right, Page of Pentacles in reverse. Failure to recognize obvious facts, dissipation of ideas, illogical thinking, rebelliousness, and wastefulness. Ooh-wee. So now I'm kind of wondering if this message does have to do with the TF topic, TF toxicity. Because what ends up happening is we fail to realize how this addiction is affecting us. And maybe I'm addicted to being resentful, and reject the whole TF topic to begin with. Maybe that's my addiction, Instead of focusing on other people's addictions, maybe it's time for us to focus on what we are doing in an addictive manner. You can be addictive to ignoring your growth. Yep. It's true. Very true. Okay. Ace of Swords. Great determination, initiative, strength, activity, excessiveness, triumph, fertility, prosperity, deep emotions. Pisces, if you want to get rid of all the bullshit, dive real deep. We just said it. Not many can dive as deep as you without having to come up for air. That's the very reason they can't dive as deep as you. So get real deep. When you're in a relationship or connection that you find you can't get yourself out of and you don't want to be, go real deep. Get real deep with every single conversation. If they're not in alignment, they'll find a way to leave. Get real deep. The deeper you go, the more likely they won't follow. Very simple. Begin talking about your actual feelings, really analyzing yourself. And the ones who want superficial connection, where they can just feed off of you, because how does a leech feed? It stays on the surface of your skin, bleeding you from the surface. When you go real deep, there are no leeches. Really let that sink in. There's no leeches inside your belly. Even if you swallow it, they just pass right through. Get real deep. There are no leeches. So, let's see. 9 of Swords in reverse. 9 of Swords in reverse. Suspicion, slanderous gossip. Shame, scruple, timidity, shady character. So, I hope this is not you. I really, really hope this is not you. If you are able to really just look within yourself and see if this is you, if it is, shift. Be the person you know yourself to be, all right? You don't have to allow toxic coping methods to continue interfering with your journey. If it's not you, get them out of your life, okay? If it's not you, why are you allowing this to be around you? Well, because, because they have this title, because that, and you're allowing it. I don't know if maybe you missed the first question. Why do you allow this to be around you? And that's the thing we have to recognize. It's being allowed, okay? People who are like this, they're going to continue to be like this. They are not for you to save. No one is here in a savior capacity. And if anyone wants to be like, no, I was here to save humanity, you're failing your job because humanity is failing. Humanity is falling deeper and deeper. So if you're believing you're here to save humanity, you're failing. Off the live, go do your job. For the rest of us who can be honest with ourselves, we are not here to save humanity. We are here to save ourselves from our own destructive processes and allow people to witness this so then they can choose to save themselves and have you to support them, encourage them, inspire them, okay? That's how creation was actually structured. All right. 7 of Wands in reverse. Anxiety, embarrassment, hesitancy causing losses, perplexity. Perplexity. We're confused. We're confused because life tells us one thing, spirit tells us another. Which one is true? Well, it's up to you to decide. So life is based on the toddlerhood of spirit. Spirit is about the adulthood of soul. Who are you going to listen to? Who is going to drive the car that you're riding in? The toddler or the elder? Which one? And it's up to you to decide. Some people let their children. Some people let their children drive the car. It's up to you, okay? It's up to you. 8 of Wands in reverse. Ooh, thorns of dispute. jealousy, harassment, stagnation, domestic quarrels. The people who have become accustomed to your weakness are not going to let you go. There's nothing left to say after that. They're not. If you think that those who have depended on you overgiving, depleting yourself, bending over backwards in order for them to rest their drink on your belly, you're not just some side table, okay? These people are not going to celebrate your newfound strength and confidence. They're going to attack you. It can be subtle. It can be in your face. But they're not going to let you grow because guess what? They no longer benefit from your power. Because now they have to do for themselves. They can no longer feed off of you. They're not going to celebrate that. So as you grow, when you're growing, when you're finding your own truth and your own strength, this has nothing to do about recognizing you're better than other people. This is not a competition or comparison. This is about really, really understanding you, the gravity of who you are, what you're here to do for yourself, the beautiful light you have inside you. When you begin to recognize that, they're not going to like it. Should you dim your light because someone is so accustomed to existing in their darkness that you're blinding them? Is that your problem? Is that something you're supposed to solve? Your light is too bright. I don't like it. Well, look away, motherfucker. Look away. Ain't nobody asking you to look at me. Look away. If my light is too bright, turn around, face your shadows, and work on yourself. Oh, girl. What are you eating? Shiva. Come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Hey. Shelby's.
Let's go.
She's like a freaking lawnmower. She just grazes. She's a cow. Mirroring can be very toxic. Absolutely. Mirroring can be very, very, very toxic. Ooh. Matthew, a child held in a closet. I get this visual of the house burning down and no one knows the child is hidden. Thank you, Nene. And I wonder if that's some sort of analogy for the way most of our spiritual processes are going, the way it's going for most of us, I mean, where we've hidden our inner child away in a closet because that child was shamed, was told that their existence is inconvenient, annoying, burdensome. And that child is hidden away in the closet. And as the house of toxicity burns down, what happens to the child? I don't know. If that child isn't found, it burns in the house. It burns up with the toxicity. So this is about really diving deep into yourself, crossing that line referring to one of the boundaries that exist to keep you enslaved within yourself, to keep you existing within a box within yourself. Those lines need to be erased. And if you don't have the courage to erase them, just step over them. It's just the line. If you are not there to enforce that line as a boundary, lines don't mean much. They're just scribbles on the floor. Step over it. Was that child you? Is that a legitimate question? Guido choose. I think each of us have a child like that. Each of us. There's no shame in my recognition that, yeah, at one point, that was my child, my inner child, not my actual child. At one point, that was my inner child. Should I be ashamed of that? No. I should be proud because as the house burned down, I ran back in and I saved her. I saved myself. That's a fucking accomplishment. That's something to celebrate about myself, about my growth, about my path, about the decisions I've made. up to this point. So you ask, was that child you? At one point, yes. No hesitation, no shame. At one point, yes. And I'm still good. I'm still a good person. Instead of taking my time to ask, who started the fire? Who almost burned? We good. We're ready to move forward. We have been moving forward. I knew it. You totally carry a troll energy. How does it feel to grift money and sell merchandise to these poor people? How does it feel to not have to pay for my food stamps and healthcare? We're so quick to really get on people's cases for earning a living wage. The moment, Guido Jews, you figure out how to take currency away where we can exist the way I want to exist, where no one has to pay. No one is valued more than another person because of your bank account and tax bracket. Then I will gladly give away all my services for free, the way I have been for so many years. But I recognize now, listening to that type of logic where I should feel ashamed for earning a living wage, for allowing my gifts to gift back to me so I can continue helping other people, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad. It actually feels really good. Thank you, Aurora. It actually feels really good to be financially successful enough to be able to give to other people. Yeah, you can bet them. I'm just too lazy to lift up my hand. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to know that I'm able to help. I was just thinking the other day, my husband had withdrawn some cash a few weeks back. Before we came to California, he withdrew cash. And I mean, I don't really spend cash. So all this cash that he withdrew when my son and I drove to California by ourselves, I don't want to tell him, I have been giving it away to homeless people. When people ask me in front of a store, hey, do you have $1? He gave me 20s, here's a 20. I mean, I'm not rich by any means. I really am not. But if it's in my wallet and you ask, and I'm not going to spend it, I'll give it to you. And it's such a powerful fucking feeling to have been able to earn a living wage, to work for that money so that I can choose to give it away. Because that's how I am. That's me. That's me. I see this money that's earned. I don't even see it as money. I see it as numbers that help to quantify how other people outside of myself value the work that I do. Because numbers speak to me so much. And it's so hard for me to see the value of what is normal for me. It's a beautiful thing. And for each of you, not the ones who have donated, because you guys are on a special type of like, wow, thank you for that support. For each of you who have aligned with the value that I set for my services, my merchandise, thank you. Thank you for helping me to learn the value of what I do. Thank you for validating the work that I do, for giving me the opportunity to be able to earn enough to give away. Because I don't keep that. And when people challenge you and they try and publicly embarrass you, because Guido just thought he was smarter. You thought you were smarter. Maybe in human terms, but not in soul. I know what I'm here to do. I know the person that I am. I know my integrity. I know my purpose. And I have no shame in earning a living wage. Just like I had no shame before when I wouldn't allow my gifts to gift me back financial stability and I was giving it all away. I have no shame saying at that point, I allowed myself to get so poor that I qualified for food stamps. And thank you then for buying my groceries. The beautiful thing about owning your journey, owning your life, your history as a human being, is no one can weaponize your history and use it against you. No one. Not a single person. They can say whatever they want. I own my life. I own my life as a successful CEO. I own my life as someone who was homeless living in an RV in a parking lot. My value was not diminished while I lived in a parking lot. Because guess what? While I lived in a parking lot and tried to figure out how to help me own my own abundance, I was still equally financially successful. And I was giving it all away. Everything. My value was not diminished. I had to go through that to understand. Withholding from myself does not encourage and inspire others to allow themselves to receive. And so now, yes, I receive. Yes, I am financially stable and successful. And yes, I still give it away. All of that is okay. All of that is my history. All of that is a causation I chose, and now I benefit from the effects. I chose to allow myself to be vulnerable enough to be witnessed by the general public, to be open to ridicule, scrutiny, all kinds of other bullshit. And I chose to do it because now I understand the strength I have within me. There is nothing a human being can say or do that will stop my soul from bringing to fruition what I was born into this life to do. And I will no longer feel shame. I will not feel guilty. I will not hide it away. Because at the core of all of that, I still am who I am. A beautifully patient, loving, giving, generous person. And if I have, you have too. So why should I feel ashamed? Why should I feel ashamed for working? I don't. And neither should you. You shouldn't feel ashamed for having abilities that other people value and purchase services for. And for those who, oh, that's a gift. You shouldn't pay for a gift. You're not paying for the gift. That I'm giving for free. You're paying for my time. And as a human being, I'm obligated to pay for my existence. So then you are obligated to compensate me for my time. Very simple. There's no shame. There's no scandal. There's no scamming. None. So how about that? Someone challenges you, speak your truth. Speak it without shame, without hesitation. You want to say something? Go ahead. It's okay with me. Thank you, Wicked Love Media. Let me see. There was someone else. Thank you, Joy. So, yeah. Guido juice. You've been sipping on that juice a little too much. You thought I would be an easy victim. That's why my soul chose this kind of face, this type of voice, to attract the people who would try and shame reflections of me back into their boxes. Fuck that. The box doesn't exist. You can't put me in a box that was destroyed years ago. Try a different channel. Not going to work here. All right, guys, give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I got to do my medical stuff, and then I got to do my work stuff. I'm going to try and go live later. I've been saying this to you guys. I'm going to try and go live later today. I will try and do expedites. I can't promise. I've been kind of feeling withdrawn into myself, not really wanting to do energy work for like general public. In honor of Guido Juice, I'm going to step out of my internal cocoon and I'm going to fucking remind the world how badass my fucking energy work is. I'm doing expedites today. Thank you, Guido Juice, for your encouragement. Thank you. I'll make the link available maybe in about 30 minutes or so. We're doing expedites today. And you guys, please remember, I have services, private services available on my website. I also have merchandise. A lot of the funds that I receive from all my sales do go to help other people quietly. I don't have a 501c3, so all of this I pay out of my pocket and I pay taxes for it. All my income is documented. So thank you for helping me help other people. It really, you guys are close to my heart. You really, really are. So thank you. Bye.